Protect your business from the fastest growing crime of the 21st century. Find out here. You're watching Technology Review. Hello and welcome to another episode of Technology Review. This is episode number 300. That's right, folks. This is our 300th episode of Technology Review since 2012. Technology Review is a show regarding cybersecurity awareness in the workplace, how to protect your company, your family, and your personal information from cyber criminals and cyber thieves. Did you know that every 2 seconds someone has their identity stolen by a cyber thief? It's amazing out there, folks, but there's things that you can do to protect yourself. And what we talk about in the show are those things of what you can do, especially in your business, to protect yourself from the fastest growing crime of the 21st century, that is cyber crimes and identity theft. But first, I wanted to say hello to our sponsors and give them a shout out. Our sponsors include Nevada Banking Association, Martin Harris Construction, Turing Consulting Group, MJ Computer Concepts, and others. Those are just a sample of our sponsors. If you'd like to be part of our show, to reach our audience, you can do that by contacting me at my email at sponsors@macjacksonjr.com. That's sponsors@macjacksonjr.com. We are broadcasting live on Facebook, so I wanted to welcome everybody who has joined us here on Facebook. If you'd like to send us a like, we appreciate that. And also send us your comments and your chats. We really appreciate that as well here on Technology Review. We're going to talk about lots of different things today in our show in Technology Review concerning cyber attacks. And we'll first start talking about is what are the type of cyber attacks that are happening now? Now, we've all heard the latest in the news, everything from years ago from Target to Equifax. There are currently additional companies being hit by cyber attacks, but the main one now that we should really be aware of is our midterm elections that will be happening in November, folks. Our government, U.S. government, has appropriated $380 million for IT training and consulting around the country for all the states in order to put in reinforcement into protecting the voting rights and protecting our voting machines and making sure that we won't have any issues relating to cyber attacks. Why? Well, because there's a growing amount of evidence that shows that Russia and others have had an effect in our elections, in the 2016 elections, and we're trying to stop that as soon as possible. And the ways to do that is by, like shows like this, making it aware, making you, the consumers, the voters, aware of what's going on and how you can be affected by a cyber attack in the upcoming election. But first, folks, there are lots of different things that are going on that cyber hackers are looking to do. One of them that we want to talk about is what's going on with Facebook and Twitter. Facebook and Twitter, the CEOs and CCOs of Facebook and Twitter have testified in front of the Congress committees, and they were talking about our privacy and what Facebook and Twitter are doing to protect our private information. Facebook and Twitter stated that they will put in stronger options and stronger procedures and policies around our privacy. In other words, if there are websites that look false or fake, they will remove them. However, it's going to be hard to predict or tell if these pages are fake. So let me explain to you what happened. Back during the 2016 election, even before, there were several hundred Facebook pages that were fake. These pages had information that looked legitimate, like legitimate news, but the news, folks, was not legitimate. These news stories were created from overseas, and then this information was set up as legitimate Facebook pages. Well, Facebook users would see this information and assume that this was legitimate news, and then they would spread this information to other folks. You may have noticed Facebook photos that are out there on both sides, the Democrats and the Republicans, showing their candidates with a morphed photos. These photos, folks, are photoshopped to look like the original, but they're not at all. In other words, they were created to change your opinion of a certain political issue. Therefore, you will then change your vote. And it has happened, and it shows that the investigations have shown that it has worked, and people have changed their vote based upon this. So what can we do to stop this? Well, one, I will give you the advice that I give my students as a professor at DeVry University. I tell my students, cite your sources. Never take a source that you get from Facebook or anywhere and assume that it is correct. Always cite it. Do some research behind it. Make sure that that information that you're getting ready to post or that you're reading on the internet or anywhere in social media, that information is correct. You can't just say that your Uncle Bubba stated it and it must be true. Because you ask your Uncle Bubba, where did he get the information from? He may have gotten it from somebody else. So you need to do some background work on this information and make sure that you're not putting out information on the internet that is not correct. That's one of the biggest things that we can do. And this will give us more creative thinking, folks. That's the thing that's missing now, being creatively thinking and to think things through before we post them. Because there are people out there on the internet that do not want us to have creative thinking and to look at information and to listen to it and research and make sure it's correct. They want you to post information out there that is incorrect. So the best thing that I would suggest for all of us to do is to make sure that you cite your information you've gotten from the internet, do some research first before you put it out there that it is true and correct. Facebook is working on this right now, and also Twitter as well. They're looking at these different fake websites, and they will be taking them down, the ones that are not legitimate, and making sure that they are correct. So, and Twitter as well. So that is good. That is good news to hear. But there's a lot more information is out there, folks, and information is out there, but it needs to be validated. It needs to be checked and data checked. Also, you guys may remember the law that was passed on May 25th of this year, 2018, on GDPR, General Data Protection Regulations out of the EU, right? That states that a user on a website, if you have an email address or someone in your contact list that's over in Europe, and European citizens, that is, have the right to request that this information be deleted from or scrubbed from your databases here in the U.S. without getting a fine if you do not. Well, it looks like California has moved forward to pass a similar bill, and it's now in the hands of the governor. If it is signed, it will be one of the first bills in our nation that will give a similar GDPR for the residents of California. And of course, if it happens in California, well, therefore it can happen all throughout the country. It will give us an extra layer of protection, information that is in databases that you store on your servers. If your prospect, your customer wants to be deleted, and you have no need to have that information in your databases for years and years and years, the data should be removed or deleted. Interesting. Definitely stay tuned on this channel to find out more about it. But first, I want to give some information about how to contact my company. It's MJ Computer Concepts. You can find me on my website at macjacksonjr.com or our corporate website, and that is mjcc.com. That's mjcc.com. And I would recommend to enroll your employees in cybersecurity online training courses, folks. We have a cybersecurity online training course that's available 24/7 that you can enroll your employees in. Our program now has just been picked up by Homeland Security, and it's part of the Federal Employees Training Catalog. That federal employees will have access to our training and cybersecurity awareness in the workplace, and you can too for your employees. You'll be able to learn what to look for and what cyber hackers are trying to acquire if they were to be able to hack into your system. So definitely check that out at the websites I've given to you at macjacksonjr.com and mjcc.com. You can also find me on Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook, as we're now on Facebook Live. And everybody that has logged in, I want to thank you, folks. We're going to be right back here in a minute after these messages. But first, I want to say thanks to Danny, Cynthia, Susan, David, Debbie, Laurie, Stephen, and Elena. Thank you very much, folks, for being part of our show here on Technology Review. And, we have more to come. We'll be right back after these messages.